Welcome to Wild Child Records. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. We have a special treat for you today. We have a musician all the way from Nashville. Yes, Nashville, the heart of the music capital of the world. We have on Marie Norris. We're really excited. And we're going to talk about her day job, too. You're going to be freaked out what she does during the day. So, again, you're watching Wild Child Records. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. We'll be right back with Marie Norris. Welcome back to the show. Now, I just want people to know this is broadcasting live on our Facebook page right now. We would love for you to go there, leave a comment. We'd love to interact. It's all about music because music makes the world go around. Without that, I want to introduce Marie Norris all the way from Nashville. Now, I know she's not in Nashville today, so Marie, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
This is great. So I talked a little bit about your unique position, but tell us exactly where you are sitting right now and what you're sitting in.
I'm actually in Bavier, Missouri. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but yeah, I'm in my semi, in my Peterbilt. I drive a
That
truck.
that's great. So tell people, because I bet you some people don't even know what a semi is. So tell us what a semi is.
Well, another name for it is a tractor, but I drive a tractor trailer all day long. Um, from one place to another. I pretty much stay on the East Coast. I don't go out west anymore because it's just not beneficial. Uh, there's more money over here to be made in the East. Nothing west of the Mississippi, really.
Nice. Now I just want to let people know we are in a live studio right now. So if you hear some noise in the background, we have a couple of cats running around and a couple of dogs in our studio. So we're all pet lovers. So just to let people know, that is a crazy combination. A musician and a female trucker. Like you're the first female trucker I've ever interviewed. So we're going to talk more about your day job, but this is Wild Child Records. So let's focus on your music career. So you're a lady from Nashville. Tell us a little bit about Nashville, your connection to Nashville, and then we're going to get into your music career. So tell us what's going on in Nashville today.
Well, I mean, not quite sure what's going on in Nashville. I'm not completely departed, but I don't I don't go there very often, but I do work with a lot of people out of Nashville. I work with a lot of co-writers out of Nashville. I work with producers out of Nashville. I work with publishing companies out of Nashville. I actually have my own publishing company that I do my publishing through. Um,
Let me ask you this: as a musician, do you find that Nashville has been a benefit to your career, a negative, or just sort of even keel, not really either way?
It's a benefit. I'm a member of the CMA. I forgot to mention that, but I'm also a member of the CMA. So Nashville's been a great benefit to me, especially the CMA. But as
And
well,
what is the CMA? Because a lot of people may not understand what that is.
Association,
I'm sorry, what is it?
Country Music Association.
Okay. So it does help you. Okay. Now you say you've interacted with some producers, some engineers, some studios. Tell us about that experience. How was that?
Um, every studio that I've been in so far has been great. I mean, A-list top players in Nashville. I wouldn't have anything less than the very top of the heap because I mean, you get what you pay for. So if you don't pay for the top players, your stuff's going to sound like bottom of the barrel too if you get bottom of the barrel players. And I don't spare any expense when it comes to that because I like to have the A-list players on my stuff. I want to sound as professional as possible.
So tell our listeners now, I'm going to take a stab at this because you're close to Nashville, that you're a country singer, but I could be wrong.
I sing anything, but yes, I am a country singer. I
I
sing
can.
whatever feels right in the moment. I don't discriminate, and I don't like labels. I don't like being boxed into just one genre.
So tell me, why country? Is it because you kind of grew up in a country home, your mom and dad, country on the radio, or you went to Nashville as a young kid and you were enthralled? Like, how did you fall into the country genre?
Country music is close to my heart. It always has been. I grew up on it. Um, my biggest influence in life was a country singer, which is Barbara Mandrell, which you knew that was coming. I mean, I'm wearing her shirt. I mean, I wear her shirt every day, honestly, but you knew that was coming. Barbara is the biggest influence ever in my life, and she was a country singer, and she never derailed too much from that. You know, she was a crossover artist, and she did introduce her fans to a lot of different styles of music, which I love that about her. She had an eclectic music taste, and you know, she really didn't discriminate either. And I think that's where I learned that from, the no discrimination policy. What's good is good, and what's bad is bad, and that's
Now,
it.
Barbara was kind of big in the 80s with her sisters, right? She had some sisters too, did she not?
Louise and Earlene, yes.
Yeah, but Barbara was the star, right?
Barbara was the biggest. I mean, I love the other two. I love Louise and Earlene, but you got to admit, Barbara was the biggest star out of that bunch. She was the
And she
one.
had her own TV show. Didn't she have her TV show?
Uh huh. Yeah,
Barbara
Barbara.
Mandel. So let's talk a little bit about Barbara. So where would you put Barbara on the scales with Dolly or Loretta or Patsy? Where would you put Barbara on there?
Okay, so you know Patsy, she's a legend. I mean, absolutely one of the greats of the old style country music back in the '60s. She did absolutely make her mark in a very short time, and I love Patsy Cline. I really do. Um, Dolly. I mean, who doesn't know who Dolly is?
My
Dolly.
dog's name is Dolly.
Right. Okay. I used to have a dog named Dolly too. So, but yeah, Dolly. There's nobody in the world that doesn't know who Dolly is, and I love Dolly Parton too. I mean, I know all of her music too. I absolutely love Dolly. Um, and
And how about Loretta? How about Loretta?
Loretta is country. You know, Loretta Lynn was the most country that country gets, and she stayed true to country for her entire span.
How
And
would you rate those three? How would you rate those three? Like, that's pretty tough.
Dolly, Barbara, and
Well, the four, and add Reba too. So it'd be Reba, Dolly, Barbara, Patsy, and Loretta. Who's number one
Barbara. To me,
to
Barbara
you?
always number one to me, because Barbara is the one that I noticed first. I mean, The Lady is a Champ was the very first thing that I ever saw on TV that I remember. She was the first person that I ever looked up to. I guess she was my, I guess you would call her my idol.
Your idol, yeah.
I don't try and say idol because I don't worship her, but you know, I love her as a
An
human.
inspiration, right? An inspiration.
I mean, she's my biggest inspiration and my biggest influence in my career and in my personal life. If I hadn't known who Barbara was and I had never seen her, there would never be a Marie in this.
So let me ask you this. Do you know, you probably know this, but who is Loretta Lynn's famous sister?
Crystal Gale.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're living in Nashville, you didn't know that one. Oh my goodness. So I knew you knew that. I gave you a softball one, but a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know Crystal Gale is Loretta Lynn's sister. And I love what Loretta Lynn said, like, when it comes to musicians. Like, I take it so to heart when she says, good musicians write about what they know. You know, they write what they know, write what they know. So if you think about that, like just think about that and then go through some of the lyrics of some of the biggest superstars and look at their lyrics and you're going, really? Really? Wow. You know about that.
Oh yeah, I know. Even some of the songs, she wrote about what she knew. And that is absolute truth there.
Yeah. So are you a twang girl or are you new country or you blend the two?
I prefer, if I'm doing country, I like old school country. I think that that's something that needs to come back, and it is making a comeback, in fact. So, that is where my heart is, and that's what I'm going to try and bring back is old school.
I
90s
agree. I agree
country.
100%. I think the I'm going to say the newest country I like, and he's not even new anymore, and bless his heart, would be like somebody like Randy Travis, like Randy, Dwight, um, who Paisley, like those are the I guess the newer generation. They're not even new because they're in the '80s, and
Right.
right. But I'm the old. I'm Hank, and I'm Hank Snow, Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, and but I like it all. I like it all. Like it's funny. I had a friend of mine. I grew up with a friend of mine who if I went into his house, it was country music, and I would
Right.
because I'm a rock and roll guy, right? I'm a Led Zeppelin kind of guy, and I'm going country music. Oh my goodness! But then it grows on you, and and he sort of played like the light country, like Alan Jackson, Shania Twain. He didn't bring out the heavy hitters, not quite. Um, so tell our viewers now. I know we were talking off camera, and you're a songwriter, and you choose not to sort of play with an instrument while you're on stage. Is that correct?
Right. I want
Yeah,
all the attention, from me to be on singing and entertaining the audience. And I know that Barbara did it differently, but I'm not Barbara. I mean, I wanted to be exactly like her when I was a kid, but maybe later I'll incorporate playing, an instrument. But right now, I just want to focus solely on entertaining the audience whenever I do a show, rather than having a guitar strapped on or um, playing any other instrument at the moment. I mean, but later on, I probably will incorporate it, but at the moment, I just want it to be me and the audience.
so what do I do is why don't we take a quick break and when we come back, we're gonna find out, come back and talk a little about your songwriting and where you get your inspirations, and then talk a little bit about what you've done in the past and what you got coming up in the future. So stay tuned. You're watching Wild Child Records. On the show today, we have female trucker and musician Marie Norris. We'll be right back.
Are you currently on ODSP? If you're interested in social media marketing, TV production, podcasting, or getting off assistance, please contact Jay Stoyan at 647-339-6847 or Jay at thedisabilitychannel.ca. The Disability Channel, showcasing abilities.
Hi there, Wendell Clark. You're watching the Disability Channel, showcasing their abilities. All the best.
Welcome back to the show. On the show today, we have musician Marie Norris. Now, Marie's from the Nashville area, telling us all about her career, telling us a little bit about her day job, which she is an 18-wheeler. She's a trucker. Wow. So we're going to talk. And I know I won't say what, but I know she delivers some very important content. So we'll just leave it at that. So let's get back to your music career. So obviously you probably started right when you're like 2 years old or something like that, one of those musicians. So when did you get started and how did you get started?
I was a toddler. My grandma said that I sang my first song before I could speak a word. And it was Jesus Loves Me in church. So I tell people that all the time because I don't remember doing it. So I only have accolades from my grandma saying that I did that. I have her word. I have no idea if I did that or not.
Let me just stop you right there, because you sure do have the country twang in your voice. Like, you got the old school twang. I like when you're talking. I love it. It's great. It's great.
Old school.
I love it. I love it. So you started playing when you were little. Now, just took right to singing, right? You just took right to singing, and that never really wanted to pick up an instrument, or just wasn't in your wheelhouse.
I did pick up instruments as a child. The first instrument I ever had was a guitar. Uh,
Okay.
I had a toy guitar, and whenever I would go to church, I would get up and sing with my toy guitar. And it had like the fishing line strings. And of the church that we went to, he thought that I played very well on the fishing line string guitar, so he went and bought me a real one and gave
Very
it
nice.
to church. And I had that guitar for years and years and years. But he said that I had something. The preacher of the church literally said I had something, that I was special, and that God had something special planned for me. And well, I think it was the music. I think it was being a singer. I just ran from it for a long time. Life happened and I had to, do other things. But now I'm
It,
back and I'm what's mine. And I
it's
don't
so great that the like a lot of musicians get their start in the church. Like, I think that's fabulous, in the choir, and it's so big. It's so good for the community. It's so good for a young person to be, introduced to the arts, and it brings you out of your shell,
it
right?
does.
Brings
It,
you out of your shell. So tell us a little bit where you get your inspirations for writing.
I get inspiration for writing from anything, absolutely anything. I could see a billboard and I would think, oh, cool, that'll make an awesome song. Or, I could see the headlines and I'll start writing a song because of certain headlines. Or I could see something happen on the road. Or I could see an event. I could see something on TV. I can hear another song and get an idea for another song from the song that I'm listening to. Uh, it could
Do
be a
you like to when you're writing, like when you're first getting your inspiration, you're putting pen to paper for the first time, are you sort of all over the map as far as ideas, or do you sort of have a formula? Like, do you like to write about a storyline? Do you like to write about an incident? Do you rhyme with your songs at all?
most of the time I do rhyme either the first and third line or the second and fourth line, because that's the formula of writing a song, right?
Yeah.
Um, but there are times that you can kind of do the ghost rhyme. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's a phantom rhyme. It's like, it's not supposed to, but it works. It sounds good together. Like the words are nothing like each other, but they work. They complement each other. But my formula, I like to write notes. I learned very early in my songwriting that taking notes and then building a song around the notes, like this piece or that piece. And I actually learned that from Jeff Pearson. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was and still is a songwriter nowadays. But he used to work for Tom Collins Productions, or what? No, but not product. It might have been Productions, but I know it was his publishing company that he had. Whenever Barbara, because he actually wrote a song for Barbara called "You're Still My Hand Holder" on her Moments album. And he's the one that taught me that formula. He actually took me down and he taught me some stuff about songwriting, and that was one of the things that he taught me. He was the very first co-writer I ever wrote with, by the way, too.
I was just going to ask you that. Do you do any collaborations, and how do you find that process?
It's very I don't even want to say that let me just change what I was thinking. But it's a fun process because songwriters are unique. They're very creative, so their minds are very open to all kinds of things. And I have found that I'm not the only one that's that creative and has a mind that works like that. And we've written some very humorous songs whenever I go into a co-writing session. Like one, for instance, that I have never released, of course, it was written as a duet, and it was written during COVID. And it's called Fashion Statement, and it has nothing to do with fashion. But
Very nice.
it's a throw off. And the song, whenever you listen to it, you'll think, God, their mind is warped. But I wrote that with Bill DeLuigi. And I never could find a person to sing it with me, because it was written for man and a woman and a man. But it's a very funny song. It's like on the levity galore. It's just hilarious. But I never could find anyone to do it with me. I've pitched it to a couple of people, but nobody wanted to do it because it was written and it during COVID, and it even mentioned the mask, because but people that listen to that song probably think those two are warped in the head writing a song like that.
So why don't we do this? Stay there, take a break. When we come back, we're gonna let our viewers know a little bit what's going on in the future. I don't know if you have that magazine with you today. I'd love to see that in case, or we can do it on the next show after the commercial break. And then I want to give people some information, so if they want to check you out, where they could go and all that, because we're going to be having Marie back quite a bit now. She's joined the WILDCHILD Records platform, and we have a unique vision for Marie. I'm not going to say the vision, but it's going to have to do with what she does during her day job. Tell the people again where you are right now. What are you sitting in right now, Marie?
I am sitting in Bavier, Missouri. I'm actually at a Love's truck stop. So, I mean, all you guys out there that drive a truck know exactly where all of these are, right? And I drive a Peterbilt 579, and
actually we posted that on our Facebook page. So we posted her truck, and right now people are commenting on our Facebook page regarding this interview. So you're going to be seeing a lot more Marie, but stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to wrap the show, including if you want to see or hear more from Marie, we're going to give out her information. So you're watching WILDCHILD Records. I'm Jay Stoyan. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. So before we let Marie go, I would like you to hold up your magazine, please, and tell us a little bit about it. It's going to be a little hard to see, but we're going to hold it up anyways.
This is the magazine that I am featured this month. the month of July. In Cashbox, I have a spread. Let me find it real quick.
Okay.
It opened. I mean,
Wow. That is so cool.
but you can tell that's me. I mean, I'm on page 62 and 63.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I'm on page 62 and 63 in this magazine, and it is available digitally on the Cashbox magazine website.
Now, is that a Nashville produced magazine, or is that where's that come out of?
Comes out of Alabama.
Alabama?
Yeah, it's a very famous magazine, but it comes straight out of Alabama. I forgot the name of the town, but it comes.
Now, is it strictly a music magazine? Is that what it is? A music magazine?
Fox is strictly a music magazine, and it does have a lot of ads for different artists. It helps the artists out a lot.
Sure. Well, we'll showcase that too. If you send us that, we'll send us a snapshot of that. I think I might already have it because I have a lot of your images. So we'll be showcasing that. So before we let you go, Marie, and we're going to have you back, obviously, a ton of times. If people want to find out more information about your music, is there any place they could go? Facebook or anything like that, or website, or?
I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let's see. So Facebook is Marie Norris Music. And all you got to do is put in Marie Norris Music and you'll find it. Same at Instagram at Marie Norris Music. Same at, what is it? The Lord have mercy. It's one Marie Norris, one at X, which used to be Twitter. And then it's at Marie Norris Music everywhere else.
Okay, and we'll post it on our Facebook page too. So what I'm going to do now, I want to thank Marie. I want to thank Big Records. I want to thank Mark. He's an awesome guy out on the West Coast. Great platform showcasing emerging independent and mainstream musicians. So I want to thank you, Marie. We'll see you next time on Wild Child Records.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.